G'day everyone, welcome to Fantasy in 5. I am Matty G. This is D-Mac. How you doing, man?
Going well. Matthew, very formal of you. Yes, Daniel, if you will. But yeah, going really well. It's been a while since we've caught up.
Yeah, it's been, I was away last week. You were away last week. It's been an absolute busy time. And we're doing this show live or pre-recorded every fortnight, or at least a week. But I guess a fortnight gives us a better look overall. Daniel, D-Mac, NBA Fantasy Bible, if you will, gives us a better look at what sample size. Our sample size of buy lows and sell highs gets bigger instead of just knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of knee-jerk reactions, and I post often on Twitter around just some of the crazy buy lows and sell highs that's happened. I think we just take advantage of that. But yeah, we're going to go through several names tonight.
Yeah, look, biggest, I guess, news coming for the last couple of days, injury-wise. We'll just touch on this one, questions, because we do have questions. Matty G and D-Mac, is Reed Shepherd a must scoop now? Ooh, this is an interesting one. He was always a bit of a scoop in the first place, really, wasn't he?
Yeah, he sort of dropped off. But in the last couple of games, he's looked really good, and it looked like he's being prioritized. He's having a little bit more trust in him. So I'm happy to grab him. I don't think he's a must roster at this stage, playing off the bench, but he's shooting the ball really well. He's getting those steals as well. So I'm happy to grab him, and I have grabbed him in a couple of leagues as well.
Yeah, I have. I saw you sweep in there and pick him up in, I think it was one of our leagues that you were in. I was like, oh, look, you're testing your waters because you love a bit of a point guard depth, but his ownership has gone up. He's now, advanced ownership is up 21% in the past 2 days across platforms. So I guess it is time to scoop in there now. And again, like you said, we just get in there and we sell. Here we go. Questions straight away off the bat. Love this one. Pick one to drop. Ryan Rollins, AJ Mitch. Have these people read our show notes? G'day, guy, because all of these people we're going to talk about. For me, it's a who do you? I don't drop any of those guys. I try and package two of those into one and try and trade for a nice piece. D-Mac.
Yeah, if possible, it could perhaps be a really shallow league. We don't know if it's points or categories, but I think AJ Mitchell has looked fantastic in that six-man role. Ryan Rollins has to be had on every 12-teamer, possibly even 12-teamers as well. Hunter in a categories is probably less impactful, but he's getting a nice bump at the moment. But give us some more information. But Hunter's probably the least of the priorities at this stage. AJ Mitchell probably loses some value once Jalen Williams does return as well. But yeah, it's a tough one. Ryan Rollins is a must
as well. Yeah. And we've had Isaiah Joe coming back into the fold, and he's been playing really, really well. So for me, AJ Mitchell is the one whose role is most at risk there. Here we go. 9 cats, 16 teams. Oh, dude, package two of those guys for one, surely in a 16-teamer.
Wow.
You must be going for streams, Kai. That's a really strong team. If that's your problem, congratulations. You've drafted really, really well. How's this one? Hi, guys. Want to hear your thoughts on if Cam Johnson is droppable? He is. I'm just going to answer that straight out, Londes. I dropped him in a 20-man, 10-person roster. No IR, no IL. What Cam Johnson is doing right now, for me, D-Mac, is streamable. It's completely streamable. You can get that off the waiver wire. You could get Trendon Watford, who'll pop off for double any day of the week out there. But for me, Cam Johnson, at this point, unfortunately, is a drop, which is a shame to see.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. We were pretty high on him coming into the season, but it doesn't look like he's going to get the usage that we were expecting on that Denver team.
Not even the efficiency. The shots aren't going in from threes. The rebound. All you need to do was the MPJ job. Just get rebounds and knock down threes off Jokic. Not a hard job. And Cam has shown his ability to do that over time. So that's a bit of a shame. Thoughts on Fears? Hello, hi, by the way. His name is Hi. Hi. Thoughts on Fears? I was live in Melbourne. I saw him, was impressed by him. Willie Green was whispering in his ear. Jordan Poole was giving him ups. The Pelicans like him, and they have a bunch of 4-game weeks ahead. So I like Fears. I like the schedule ahead. Did I see you drop him in a league today because you needed to make a move for somebody else, mate?
Possibly. Day 7 of the week as well. Sometimes you get desperate, but I like Fears as a whole, particularly while the aforementioned Jordan Poole is sidelined. DeJounte Murray, when's he coming back? Probably early in the year as well. So I like Fears' role at this stage.
Yeah, 100%. And I guess let's get off the formal, because this guys must have been in chat for a while. Hello to everyone in X and on YouTube watching this live. FPL Jeeters.
FPL, Fantasy Premier League, soccer fan as well.
Yeah, is Duren so high? Well, funnily enough, he must be, because we have a pre-prepared slide that has his name on it.
Yep,
there we
definitely
go.
Definitely so.
This is. Should we play that? We should probably play the promo thing to make it like actually sell highs. Let's officially launch the sell highs. There we go.
He's heating up.
Yeah, there we go. He was off your list. You've got this bloke in a couple of teams. Do you just love being a Jalen Duren owner at this point in time?
Yeah, absolutely. He was one of our breakout candidates this season, and he's had some foul troubles in previous years, but this season he's remained somewhat foul. He stayed away from those personal fouls, and that's kept him on the court for longer. Still less than 30 minutes a game, but he's just been so efficient, and he's doing it on the defensive end, which is something we haven't seen in previous seasons.
Yeah, and that's been a big thing for him. It's always like worry about the block shots and what he can get. His free throw percentage it's been decent enough, but some of the big numbers this guy is putting up, he has just been an absolute monster. Like, it's absolutely huge. By the way, we said coward to your question there, David Mitchell, or coward. Absolutely coward at this point. And was Keyshawn George a sell high? I actually think he was a sell high. I think it's a buy low opportunity, or at least a hold right now. But we should not be freaking out, Brandon, on Keyshawn George, D-Mac. Just way too early for that.
Yeah, I think he's got a fantastic role. He was definitely a sell high, and we said it as well. It was before Bilal came back. He had the keys to that team as well, and I think longer term, he will as well. So definitely don't freak out, but he was a sell high. Difficult to execute that right now.
Yeah, 100%. But I put him in a package right now with a couple of other players, and people who know basketball would know that it's a buy low opportunity. So I don't think anyone's going to be majorly down on Keyshawn George. They're definitely looking to get a scoop back. We spoke about Duren and what he's been doing over the past couple of weeks. This guy has been a monster. D-Mac, he has been an absolute beast. His name is Isaiah Hartenstein, and he is just doing huge work in OKC right now.
He absolutely is, and there's been less to do for Chet Holmgren, but Isaiah Hartenstein's been just an absolute beast, as you said, on the rebounds. Not as many blocks as we probably are used to, but he's getting the steals, and he's actually looking pretty good offensively as well. So top 40 guy in 9-cat, and he's just been a huge, huge steal. Probably got him closer to that pick 80 in a couple of drafts that I was in. Yeah. So really happy with that at this stage, but definitely a sell high.
I think you and I both know that we were both targeting guys like him, especially that traditional playmaking that's a little bit out of position for him, necessarily speaking. His assists have been huge, but the assists have been down a little bit. So when I targeted him initially, D-Mac, it was very much for that playmaking role as the center that we can pick up from him. But yeah, mate, he's just been absolutely insane. He's been brilliant.
Yeah, he has been 1.4 steals per game. He's a high steals guy for a center as well. But I'm enjoying what he's doing. So if you can't execute that sell high, just keep it rolling. I think Chet, we may be talking about Chet later on in the buy low, but they're both in tandem and doing a wonderful job at this stage.
Yeah, absolutely. He has been absolutely cooking. Another one on here making the list is Denny Advia. From the Portland Trailblazers. He has been having an absolute cracking start to the season. Denny has been flying. He ended last year on an absolute hot streak. Nothing screams sell higher than a nice little 30-point game, D-Mac. It's kind of just what he's been doing.
Yeah, top 50 on the season, but in the last week, top 10. I think he's 6th in 9-cat, which is absolutely outstanding. And he's doing that on just some crazy efficiency. And if anything, he could probably increase his defensive stats as well. But yeah, he's a triple-double threat on most nights, and he's really leading that team very nicely.
Do you think the onset of Advia has consequences for others? Who do we see has been impacted the most by Danny's rise in Portland? Is there anyone that's on a little bit of your radar, been like, he's slipped out a little bit, or could be doing better because of such performances by Denny?
Yeah, probably Shaedon Sharpe. And we've spoken about Shaedon Sharpe. He's not getting the usage that we would like. And Denny has taken that and he's running with it as well. But I think that Shaden Sharp can also turn it around. He's had a better week as well, but he was definitely one of my buy lows last week, and he's still somewhat of a buy low.
Yeah, 100%. Talk us through the this next guy for us, if you would, DMAC. We have a guy from the northern state. His name is Emmanuel Quickly.
Yeah, look, I think he's a sell high just because he's had a couple of nice performances recently, and moving forward, I think he's going to struggle getting that high usage as well. So whenever the opportunity arises, I think you do quickly go and sell quickly. Just be mindful of that moving forward. But some really nice big games, playing huge minutes as well in the last couple of games. So execute if possible. And like we've always talked about, buy lows and sell highs is about timing as well. So if you can make the most of his last couple of performances, some guys may go, you know what, this is IQ for the rest of the season, then take advantage of that. I just don't think that's the case.
And I think in this kind of regard as well, we have to pay attention to the fact that this was a guy we were a little bit higher on this season, a potential bounce back. His ADP did slide up closer to draft day as well. We did see a bit of a trend in his way. And then it was a little bit, no, is he washed? Is it not going to happen? He's turned it around. And in the last week, this guy has been as the 39th best player in fantasy basketball, which is a great step for him. And his percentages here have been not even great, like 429 from the field, but 18 points. It's the almost 6 rebounds, 6.3 threes, the 1.3 steals over the past 7 days, especially, that has given him a little bit of a boost. But it's also the shots gone in, the 3-pointers. There's 5 and 3, the spatterings. But DMAC, this is assists. We've also seen him get a lot more than this. Like, we've seen this guy almost average double-digit assists over time. And if he starts doing that, it's going to increase his value. So we absolutely hold him, or we do try and trade him off for anyone who is out there. There's been people who's really read from the show notes. Bit of a spoiler alert. Triple J trades. Yeah, we'll get to Triple J. There might be another Memphis Grizzly on the radar, one could say. But there's another team that we want to focus on before we get to our honorable mentions for this one. It's some of the guys from the Wolfpack. Now, Dante DiVincenzo is on my curious targets of this season. He's been playing fantastic. But these two guys, they're the two Timberwolves, DMAC, who are in the top 30, whose name isn't Anthony Edwards. In fact, Anthony Edwards hasn't even been there in the past week, coming back from injury. But these two guys, Julius Randle and Jaden McDaniels, have been absolutely cooking.
Yeah, they have. And you mentioned it. Anthony Edwards has been out. He has returned and he's looked fantastic. Rudy Gobert has been down. Last night, he was amazing. But I think that's the point. Julius Randle, high usage. Jaden McDaniels had a lot more shots while Anthony Edwards is out as well. So I think it reverts back to the norm. I think their usage comes down, and that's why you can execute that sell high. And again, you may only get that slight value increase, and they are still good to go for the rest of the season. So again, don't be disheartened if you can't execute that. We're just saying that this is a nice sell high opportunity.
100%. Look, he is rostered in all leagues. The fact that he is 98% rostered, even with the new points format over in Yahoo, is kind of curious. The threes, he doesn't get them in bunches. He did have a bit of a spate there when these 30-point games. The prime sell high was on this run here between 26, when everyone knows that Ant was out. And if Anthony Edwards does go back down for any way, shape, or form, just make sure that you're executing this really quickly. But again, 2 triple doubles over the past 5 games screams sell high window. But Jaden McDaniels, I actually think this is probably more sustainable on the season. Now, I don't think the 20 points is. Let's pencil him in for 15 to 18 points a game. His average for the season, DMAC, Daniel, if we're being so formal tonight, is 18.6. But this is exactly what he does. This efficiency the last 2 games is crazy, though. This is ridiculous. 810, 643, 800 a couple of games. This is incredible efficiency from Jaden McDaniels.
Yeah, and that's the point. It is incredible and it's unsustainable. We've seen enough of a sample size across his entire season. Yeah, he's just been outstanding the last couple of seasons, but not at this type of level. So again, execute the sell high if you can, but he's still a must roster guy, even if you can't down the track. Love his game. Love the defensive pressure that he puts on. He's a defensive guy, but he's showing more than that as well. Offensively, he looks sound.
Yeah, he's been one of those nice little pieces that these guys are really, I guess you could say, this is the glue guy. that the Timberwolves need if they're going to press for a championship. It's the McDaniels kind of thing. It's playing that Gobert hasn't been put. This guy had a really down season to start last year. He crept back in. He was undrafted, and I can prove that as well. That is this that we're showing from this is actually in our friends and family league. So this is in our league, and the transaction history. We've got Steve St. Pierre, myself, Kayla. We all liked him, and we were jostling for 10. It's a 10 person. 14 paleo rosters, top 140 would have been drafted. And you swooped in and got him off the waiver wires. He was one of the guys I claimed, but you trounced me. But he is only currently 46% rostered. So if you are a category player, DMAC, in Yahoo, this is a guy that you want to be picking up because he has been nothing short of incredible to start the year.
Yeah, he shouldn't be left on waivers. Absolutely a must roster guy. So make sure he's not on your waiver.
Now, some of the sell highs that we have prepared for you is a laundry list of sell highs, including some honorable mentions yet again, including Drew Holiday. But Stephen Castle makes the list for you this week, DMAC.
He does, and we saw De'Aaron Fox has just returned. In his first game, Castle still dominated. I think he got 14 assists in that game. And it looked like, I won't say De'Aaron Fox was deferring, but he was deferring playmaking duties to Castle, which is interesting to see. We still have Dylan Harper still on the sidelines. He's probably due back in a couple of, well, I'm not exactly sure of the timeline, but not for a while anyway. So Castle, again, we talk about timing. This is the time to sell high on Castle. If you look at it from a 9-cap perspective, it's not outstanding. And we know about the holes. Some of his efficiency is...
Bet you know about some holes.
Oh, I do know about
your
holes.
Shirts mostly. Mostly your t-shirts.
Usually get the arms out. But we're talking about timing. So make sure that you do sell higher because, yeah, like I said, De'Aaron Fox should regain the reins of that team as the playmaker. Dylan Harper will confuse things even a little bit more as well. And Castle may just be that offensive punch as well down the track. So he's looking great at the moment, but this is the time to sell high.
Yeah, and we can't always be having Harrison Barnes looking that good in the past week. So you had the Harrison Barnes pop-off game, De'Aaron Fox coming back, Victor Wembanyama having a down week, one would say. I know in Supercoach and that platform, people are talking like, the Spurs have a 4-game week next week? Do I even look at other options for him? And I'm like, yeah, maybe. I mean, like, it's a potential. We've seen that with Wemby. But the thing is, with Harper not there right now, Castle's coming back in. Keldon Johnson's been playing well. They're looking really good. Even Champagne. Like, they've been rostered. The other thing was this, Jeremy Sohan, just low-key came back in.
Yep, and we've seen him playmaking in the past, in previous seasons. So that could also impact Castle, and he's come back recently.
No, hi, we have not. We are about to do our ban. Oh, here we go. Jeez. Kite, how deep is your bloody team, mate? Also need to drop one between Klingon or Mitch Robinson for Edie once he return. Kite, who's in your IL or your IR spot? I'd just be picking up Edie and putting him straight into IR or IL. That's what DMAC and I have done in a bunch of leagues, haven't we, mate?
We have. But of those two, Klingon still must roster. The minutes are concerning, but you look at his numbers, he's still putting up fantastic numbers, like top 50 in terms of 9-cat. I think, Sid, did you say you're a 9-cat? Or either way, I think
9-cat 16 teamer. So again,
you have to have Klingon. Mitchell Robinson, he's okay, but I much prefer Edie over Robinson. So Robinson's the drop for me.
Yeah, 100%. I'd be dropping Robinson, but kind of, if you can, just jump straight in, mate, and do it now. If you haven't already and you are watching us on X, type fantasy in 5. One word, that's fantasy in 5 over on YouTube. We have our 30 must roster waiver flyers for the week show coming up after this. We're also going to record the mini-sode of this one where we're going to loop through all these names in under 5 minutes. We're actually going to do it this time, I reckon. So shout out to the 400 people who are watching us right now. But if you want to get the 5-minute recap of all this and watch us move like absolutely bloody lightning speed, DMAC, we'll crack that one afterwards. Let's play it and get down to our buy low. Let's start it off. I know Haya was waiting on this one. These two guys are not penciled. They are penned into your buy lows. It is Ja Morant and Jaren. I just put Grizz guys. Apart from the Wolfpack, we've got teammates who are playing well and who are sell high, and we've got teammates not playing so well and not being so cool that are on the radar there, mate.
Yeah, there's talk of disengagement, and in a way, they do look disengaged on the court. But we think they can turn it around. JJJ has had sporadic moments of getting blocks, and then he just goes really quiet. He's not getting the usage that we expect. They're constantly changing their lineups as well. They're doing constant substitutions. I don't think that helps their team with their synergy as well. They're not having a winning season at this stage. I think Edie does help them, and I think he does help JJJ as well. I think he needs that, I guess, that defensive presence behind him as well. Ja Morant's shooting terribly, but we know that Ja Morant can have moments as well, and he can just explode for a 40-piece at any stage as well. It's disappointing at this stage, but again, go in, swoop on these guys, make sure you target them, because I think even with some trade talks around Ja Morant, I think that he can do a lot better, same as JJJ.
Let me run a little thing through you. Ja Morant is this year's Jimmy Butler. Is this creeping out to you? Do we remember, explain? I will explain. Thank you. I'll do my best to. Please explain. What are we talking about, Jimmy Butler? Because for me, I have this really big feeling that Ja Morant's in that very big situation that Jimmy Butler was in last year in Miami. We all remember the disengagement, the frustration, the sitting down, the getting penalized, the team finding him. And then what happened the second that this guy got away from that situation where he wasn't trying to comment or talk to the coaches? And then what happened to Jimmy Butler the second that he got traded over to the Golden State Warriors? He was a top 30 player in fantasy the second that happened. Now, I'm not saying that's going to be happening for Ja Morant. And if you look at these percentages from him, it is absolutely woeful stuff at times from Ja Morant. Can bust out, like you said, for a huge game. And he started off the season with that big 35 piece, great efficiency from the floor, a couple of threes there. And then the threes, ran dry. He was shooting sub 150 from deep. Missed a game in there. Horrible loss to the Lakers. Things have been derailed. And his percentages down since have been absolutely subordinary, including that loss the other day, 3 from 18. So that buy low window is absolutely massive. But for me, the reason why he does meet the, let's call it the Jimmy Butler test. And in chat, let us know right now. There's a whole bunch of you watching right now. If you think this is a thing on chat, it's just that change of scenery, imparting new vigor to the mind. So what would be able to be achieved by Ja Morant in another team has to be better than what he is doing now, like 100%.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's if he does get moved. Even if he doesn't, he stays at the Grizzlies, which is probably more likely than not. He can't shoot this badly. He's actually putting up fantastic numbers from the free throw line. And in years gone past, I think he's actually been a poor free throw shooter. He's above 900. He's shooting it really, really well at the moment from the free throw line. From the field, deplorable. We've seen highlights, or lowlights, I should say, of air balls as well. So he's just not found his range. And I think once they get some guys back, obviously they've got some guards on the sidelines as well. Scottie Pippen Jr., Ty Jerome, your guy, Ty Jerome. I think this actually helps him. You may think, oh, God, okay, usage is going to be spread. But I think it just takes some of the burden away from Ja. And I think he will do his better work once those guys do eventually return.
I agree. I think the focus of him, he's being met by 3 defenders every single time because there is no one else on this team who can really handle the ball. I mean, hey, look, hands off to Coward. He's been a brilliant rookie. Cam Spencer getting all the run and getting streamed left, right, and center. But you can see what we're talking about. Shout out to Ja Morant. He's played more games this season than he did in 2023, by the way, and has taken more shots already. But you can see the percentage here is actually a low. It is 358 on the season. It is sub 400, which is doing his value an absolute disservice. But thank you, Hi, for backing me up. Do we think Koulibaly's a holding 12, Cat? Ooh, that's an interesting one. You're the East Coast caller.
Koulibaly. If you've got the IR or the IL, shove him in there. But he's a tough hold if you don't have that. I think I actually did drop where I didn't have the luxury of being able to stash him away.
12 team. Yeah, no, 12 team. Yeah, we thought it might be a 12 teamer. Look, he's a nice little. I think Koulibaly is also a nice little add into a trade package. This is a guy who people could be salivating over the defensive numbers. If you can find a trade partner with defensive numbers, I don't think we necessarily sell low. I think we could sell him at value, but we could definitely put him in an upgrade package and go for there. This is a great question. Is Derek Lively a must-add currently available on our wire? I think so. And Kai, am I saying Kai? Is it Sid? Is it just Sid? And I'm saying
Sid.
Kai?
Yeah, I called him Sid. Yeah, let us know, Sid or Kai.
I'm calling him Sid. Jumpy Sid. I'm going to call him Jumpy Sid because he's got the Jumpman logo there.
Could be Kid.
Could be
Jason.
Kid. Could be Kid.
In a 9-cat or a category situation, he's much more favourable than a points league. Anthony Davis, I believe, is questionable for tomorrow, and Gafford is playing pretty well at the moment. So three-headed monster in that front court could be messy, but I still like Lively's game. And if you do need those big man stats, and even when he was playing, he was disappointing to start the season. Yeah, I think he'll be fine. I think you should pick him up, particularly if you can stash him away.
Yeah, 100%. I think Lively is the better player there. And I think when we have the ability to roll into someone who, especially when he was dropped because he wasn't playing well, D-Mac, and he was also dropped because, let's be honest, he was injured. So you're not playing well, you get injured, leagues are going to overreact, owners are going to be pressed, especially that first one. He's doubtful to return, but he should be coming back. Gafford's played through injury. He's looked good at times and then was a bit down. So I just think he is, I do think that he is a pickup. And if you can definitely place him into IR, you do that straight away.
It's something that's also hurting him as well is not having a traditional point guard, just as lob threat. We saw it with Luka. He was really a nice 1-2 punch, but with Cooper Flagg running the point, I think it's a little bit more difficult. So that could account for the slow start. I just don't think Flagg will be the long-term point guard. And I love Flagg, but he's just playing out of position.
Yeah, he's absolutely not. He's out of position. Though we have seen a bit of a D'Lo renaissance of late, which has been interesting from being absolutely relegated out of it. We did see a little bit of extra love for D'Lo. Let's talk some other of our buy lows. We mentioned point guards there. Let's talk about this guy. This is absolutely a shame. Here we go. As well, I think Edie coming back is going to help out. I absolutely think this one.
Agree with that.
Agree, Bain. Peyton Pritchard, let's call him, without a shadow of a doubt, D-Mac, one of our early season darlings. We really much like where we were going to go with him this year. Drafted him actively. We were really high on his potential, but he has completely and utterly underperformed. The Boston Celtics in general have underperformed. His percentages and 3-point range has looked down, which has probably been the biggest ding on his game. But there's a lot of room for improvement. We don't think that we were sailing this ship off into the night very easily, do we?
Definitely not. I know that Jaylen Brown has dominated usage, and I think that Peyton Pritchard, even starting and sharing that usage, I think he can improve. It comes down to the shooting. The 3-pointers aren't going down. He was over 3 per game last season as a 6-man. As a starter, he's 1.9. So that's really disappointing, but it comes down just to his shooting stroke. And I think things will turn around nice and quickly in terms of his overall value once those shots do start going down. We saw it with Derek White, and Derek White has turned things around very quickly. I think the same can be said about Peyton Pritchard.
And you can see there was a small trend where it was starting to. In 33 minutes, though, the 8 shots was concerning in the last game at 5-5-5. So it's like, oh, come on, mate. He just had a bit of a flash in the pan. So when this happens, your hopes go up. You go, 5 threes, 27, 500 from the field. This was a lot better. There's been a bit of a trend where it's been plus 500, but the 2 or 3 threes a game haven't been coming, like you said, D-Mac, and that's what his owners wanted. We were after 3 or 4 threes a game on really excellent percentages. The thing is, the percentages are starting to creep around. The threes aren't. So I think it's a matter of time for him. And the turnovers for this guy, they are low. The blocks are non-existent. I also think his steal rate could go up a little bit. I think he has been, I think the Celtics have been underwhelming, but you could be like, oh, come on, he scored 27 the other day in 5 threes. Yeah, mate, he's done it once is your response in the trade room, isn't it? Like, he did it once. We're not going to overreact to that. But if he has another game like that 5-5-5, that window is just absolutely incredibly wide open for us, isn't it?
Yeah, and look at the minutes played as well. Apart from that 24-minute game, he's been consistently above 30 minutes. Anthony Simons coming off the bench. I don't think he's a threat to take away too many of his minutes moving forward. Simons had a really nice game last night, but he's very one-dimensional. He's shooting and threes, and that's about it from Anthony. You get a lot more from Peyton Pritchard. So be patient, and if you don't have him, go and buy low.
Now, we've had a few questions in chat, so let's look through some of these. Tipsy Jip, what's up, Tips? Who to continue to stash in 14-team head-to-head? TJ McConnell or Scoot Henderson? Need to drop one. Ooh. TJ's back this coming week potentially. So we could be getting some TJ McConnell action at the end of this week early on. I think Scoot has the most upside, especially with Nemhard there. We've got Quentin Jackson. He's out for a sustained period. Over in Indiana, a bit of a journeyman, but still a nice little ad around the fringes there. And they've also picked up Monty Morris. They waived Matt McClung. I'd be probably more in on Scoot Henderson's long-term role, but TJ is going to be back quicker.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the upside is with Scoot, but if you want solid production sooner, yeah, TJ.
I'm high on Bilal. Just the calf bruise injury is ambiguous, and they're also the Washington Wizards, and they're playing for not sheep stations this year. When we say they are definitely playing for draft balls. Thoughts on this one? Sam Merrill after Garland comeback, is he a drop? Yeah, look, Sam Merrill's been great. He is a streamer. I love Jalen Tyson in Cleveland. I think he's been playing really well as well. I think Merrill and Tyson both probably are wire guys. I maybe hold Tyson or Merrill if I have to. But again, if you're in a 12-teamer, D-Mac, you probably are going to have to – they're probably your worst guy.
Yeah, I think so. He's been a top 70 guy in 9-cap. But yeah, like you alluded to, a lot of that work was done without Garland. Garland's back, and I think there'll be less for Merrill to do. So yeah, Merrill's more of a 3-streamer for me.
And this one here, Booker was offered for Cat. Cat is my guy. What do you think? So someone's offered him Booker for Karl Anthony Towns. Oh, this is you love point guards. You're swooning at this trip.
Yeah,
you're taking Booker
easily. Yeah, easily.
Look at you. You're not even thinking about it. Like, come home with me, Devin Booker.
Yeah, Devin.
Forget about Kendall. My name's Daniel. Kind of sounds the same if you could turn off the lights. I could just imagine that for you. Love it. Here we go into our next one. Another bloke from the East, one that we really enjoyed to begin the season. We know his brother was also on our high draft list, but we are talking Asar Thompson. You think there's hidden value for him that people just don't see because of the poor percentages, D-Mac?
That's the one. It's the free throw percentage. So they'll look at the 9-cat rankings, whether it be Basketball Monster, #basketball, whatever you guys use, and go, oh, he's outside the top 100. But look deeper than that. He's playing close to 30 minutes a game, 29 minutes per game. He's not going to hit threes, but you knew that. Similar to his brother, he is hitting threes this year, by the way. Amen. But Asar is not there at this stage. But apart from the free throws, he's been outstanding. 1.8 steals per game, 0.7 blocks per game, field goal at above 50%. Decent usage for someone like himself as well, particularly alongside a Cade. There's some sneaky play, particularly if you are punting free throws.
Yeah, even with Ivy coming back, I don't think him and Ivy have the same role. I think him and Ivy play a very, very different game. And because of that, I think we can get away with bringing like Ivy back into lineups and Asar still operating very heavily as a defensive. If anything, the impetus for Asar to take less threes would probably be there because he'll be able to space the floor, do a lot more cutting, and that game that comes into him a little bit more, and then Ivy be working off the ball. Potentially, I see that. But here's a big one here. I'm just going to say yes to this. I'm trying to move off Zion. How do I feel about moving him for LeBron? Somehow I think both are playing the same amount of games. I'm taking LeBron. I'm taking LeBron every single day of the week because I think that the Lakers have to play through until the end of the year no matter what, whereas I don't think the Pelicans do. So there's that shutdown at the end of the year. And if you can make that trade, I am taking it every single day. And I don't own LeBron everywhere, and I love LeBron. There's my PSA 10. There's my PSA 10 LeBron.
I love that. And that bodes well for LeBron. That's good luck. I'm taking LeBron over Zion. Yeah, good luck, chum. I've got 0 shares of Zion, and I've got a couple of shares of Lebron, and I've got him at value. Yeah, I do. So I'm really excited.
Can I trade for him? Is there anything that I can? Are we in a league where that I have LeBron? You have LeBron? Can I trade you for him?
Sure. I think I've got him in.
Can we find out? I have to own him at least one league.
Yeah. All right. I'll see what I can do. I'll have a look at our leagues. I'll have a look.
We can't do that one. Well, how about he's not a point guard. I'm sorry. I don't know if you actually have him stacked.
Pseudo point guard. Yeah, pseudo
point guard. Is it worth holding on to Ace Bailey as my worst player? No. No. We're both in unison there. I have LaMelo on my team, but it's impossible to move from him at decent value. No, it's not. So I just covered LaMelo in a recent show on Old Man Squad. I'm dropping another one tomorrow night where I talk about the problem with LaMelo, because there's this thing about LaMelo that people like. It's like the clip culture. People love the clip culture of LaMelo Ball. And I think the second that he comes back and he puts together a run of 5 or 6 games and he's doing what he's doing and everyone's high on LaMelo and he's like, yeah, my ankles are good. I just needed that rest. You've got to move him then. And you can move him for a top 40, top 35 player because of how pleasant his game is. And because
he's very watchable. Very watchable.
He's very watchable.
To watch.
He's sexy to watch, but also the Hornets are sexy to watch. So the Hornets could come back, they could win some games, and then we're all of a sudden talking about a team that might be competitive, and that changes that narrative. So for me, I'm definitely holding on to LaMelo. I'm leaving him in IL, and bringing him back where I need to. What should you do with Steph Curry? You hold Steph Curry. You do nothing with Steph Curry.
He should play. He should play today, depending on where you're watching. But yeah, he is questionable, and I think actually will play the next game.
Yeah, we don't freak out about that one. A couple more to go on our big list of guys on buy low. Let's talk about this one. Every picture you have of Pascal Siakam, he's either in a zombie trance or he's praying to the stars above, just like you might be if you are an owner of Pascal Siakam, DMAC, because Siakam has not been so good of late after having an absolute ripper start to the year, but now not so good. And it's probably time to get some trades out there happening and buy low.
Yeah, but it's the shooting. Again, if you were to punt free throws, he's a top 50 guy and he's putting up some nice popcorn numbers, but it's just the free throws are letting him down. So those that are obsessed at looking at rankings and traditional 9-cat rankings, not -1, take advantage of that. And I know that there's plenty of guys that do that. They will go, oh, he's outside of the top 150. Well, is he? Is he actually? Maybe in traditional straight 9-cat? Yeah, for sure. Again, I was very hesitant in drafting a lot of Pacers this season just because of the struggles that they have been having, and they're just getting worse and worse. And it's good to see Nembhard return as well, which will make them better. But I still think he is a buy low.
100%. Talking about point guards and returns, KPJ is back in about a month's time. Will Rollins still have value? I think Rollins still does have value. I think he has probably cemented himself as the starter for the Milwaukee Bucks for the rest of the year. I think it's going to happen. I think the Bucks are playing some good basketball, and I actually think KPJ is great, but I think they can probably be a lot easier with him upon his return. I don't think they have to rush him. I think KPJ will cook in second units, DMAC. I think he'll cook in second units. I think Rollins has a good chemistry with the starters right now, and I think they'll do that one. Do we play in points leagues as well? Yeah, we do. Couple of them are points leagues. Tough.
Same.
Love them, but we're in a DFS points league as well. And if you forget a day in that one, it's absolutely a hell chance of this one. And what are the chances that Derek Queen holds his value when the Pels are healthy again? The Pels will never be healthy.
Yeah,
I
do like him.
Queen.
Yeah, I love Queen. I love Queen, but yeah, Zion's out at the moment. Yves Missi will probably return next game. I think Queen should be starting, and I think he's better than Kevon Looney and Yves Missi. He was being putting up some nice numbers, coming off the bench, doing a lot of work in the fourth quarter, playing most of the fourth quarter in the last 3 games. He looks so good. His fantasy stat set, particularly if you're looking at him from a dynasty perspective, and shout out to those that play dynasty, it is tantalizing. And I know the Pelicans gave up a fair bit to get him, and I think for good reason. He just looks great. I am concerned once guys like Zion do return, and Yves Missi, we'll see how that shakes things up as well. But I would be okay with rostering him in 12-team 9-cat at this stage and see what happens when Missi does return.
There was this set against the Spurs where he was just like, oh, that's Victor Wembanyama, the defensive player of the year. I don't care. And he literally took him off the dribble. He threw every little bit of sauce at him. Yep. I actually think he could have got to the rim. He actually had him beaten on. If you watch it in slow-mo, you know when you play basketball, there's this where you've got the guy and you have a choice of what I do. I can cut under your arms because Zion went to block the shot. He comes back out the lane. He delivers a great pass under it. So his ability to not only just take on one of the best defensive players the NBA has ever seen, defensive player of the year, all of those kind of things, he didn't care. He did that comfortable nature on a court and confidence, being so young, is repaying the stock the New Orleans Pelicans put on him on draft day. So
his vision
and
his awareness around the court, outstanding. And I remember that game as well. Wemby paid no respect to him from the three-point line, shot the ball, beautiful swish. Next game, paid mad respect to Derek Queen and D'd up on him as he should have.
Now I've got one for you, chat. I'm going to throw this out here to you too, DMAC. I in that 20 team 10-person league, Austin Reeves just got sent to someone for, I believe, was it Chet Holmgren and Bobby Portis was the trade. Now, I am of a massive opinion that it was Evan Mobley. It was Evan Mobley and Austin. It was Evan Mobley for Austin Reeves and Bobby Portis. Now, Portis was on the show a couple of weeks ago as a buy low. Austin Reeves was a sell high because he was ridiculous as a first rounder. I see Austin Reeves as a top 30 player on the season. So for me, I'm not selling high because I don't know what I'm going to get back that I love as much as Austin Reeves. But if you can get a first rounder or someone Evan Mobley adjacent, I'm kind of okay with it.
Yeah, harder to sell high this week on Reeves than it was last week when he was a first rounder and playing. He's been out for the last couple of games as well. But we still love him. So even if you can't execute that, take him, enjoy it for the entire season. And even when LeBron does return, he's still going to be that top 30 type of guy rest of the season.
Oh, 100%. Like he has value the whole rest of the year. And again, if you can't find a trade partner for it that you want it, you hold it because Austin Reeves, with where you probably drafted him, unless you were like me and were thinking, I know how good he's going to be. I'm going to have to take him in the 30s or the 40s. He is going to repay you. Yes, Scotty Barnes is a sell high because Scotty Barnes is always a sell high because whenever he comes out and does this, he always regresses as the season goes on. But you could get an absolute good mint for that one. Desmond
He's a
Bane,
first rounder right now.
or Desmond Babe. Well, look, we'll save that one for the end because we do have one apart from one final guy to go, and this is the Camrod Kamara, Portland Trailblazers. You'd think he could step up with Matisse Thybulle being out, but Jeremy Grant is playing a lot of minutes here. Denny Advia has been out of it. This is why Advia earlier on is on our sell highs because one of the buy lows that's left as the consequence is Timoni Kamara, who we love. We think he is a hell of a player, DMAC, but he's just hasn't found his stride yet to start the season. But the only way is up. And he has a Jaden McDaniels trajectory.
Yeah, absolutely. We're just not seeing the defensive stats. Oh, funnily enough, I've got him in that same league as well. So I had Jaden McDaniels and Timoni Kamara. So
you do
obviously high on both of those guys. It's just the defensive stats aren't completely there at the moment, and the shooting percentages are not there. But he's got the minutes, he's got the role, and things will turn around very, very quickly. Go and click trade there, mate. See what you can offer for Timoni Kamara.
Trade? You want to go through my? You want me to? Are you going to accept a buy low live on this? Are you again? Here we go.
No.
Here we go. Let's go through. No, okay. I've never done this as an exercise before. Chat. I know there's like 700 people watching right now. Oh, I've got IL. Do I have to do this now? Oh, geez. Okay, I'll literally do this because what? Oh no, form. Whoa, continue.
I think that's a sign. It's a sign that
I think you just literally broke the internet.
Yeah, I'm not going to sell low on him as well. I'm waiting for him to get his stocks up, and at the moment they are very low. So I'm holding, and I'm holding with confidence.
I will put Austin Reeves back into IL, and I could probably move Kristaps out for this and put him into utility for a second. And now I can go back to players. It's so sad that we know what buttons to push so well, and we can still stuff these things up. Okay, here we go. Trade. NBA Fantasy Bible. We'll go through I've never done a live trade, like looking through my team. This is your team. I think you and I are great in this one. I'm going to just go continue from Kamara. You know I wanted Conkinipple. What do you mean? I just picked Kamara. Yeah, I've got.
It's a sign, mate. You can't have
it. No, that's right. This is the new thing where you got to go all the way down Yahoo. Okay, so I've got DiVincenzo, Mitchell, George, Kuminga, Vassell, Wembenyama, Kalkbrenner, Williams, Porzingis, Hartenstein, Kason Wallace, Jakob Poeltl. Ooh, I could send you Jakob Poeltl for Kamara. You need a center. Austin Reeves. Do you want Poeltl? I know he's a buy low. They're both buy lows. Would you do Pirtle for Kamara?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I was high on Pirtle coming into this season, so yeah, possibly.
Oh,
I may not accept straight away. Yeah, go on. Just send it through. Ask everyone, what do you think? What are you guys going to actually pick?
Oh, you know I love Pirtle, though. I've just got a lot of centers.
Yeah, hey.
Without the defense there, I'm just doing it because I've got a lot of centers, and I know you need them. And
unless I'm punting.
Yeah, but you can't fill all your spots. That's all right. Here we go. I did it. It's officially Porzingis a must trade. It's officially I snagged Nemhard. What should I do? I don't know. Porzingis a must trade. No, I think we have to call our Jets on Porzingis. I think we've definitely got to call our Jets on him. As our alerts are going up on trades straight away. Like you've done a trade. By the way, I do have him in a trade with Kayla. By the way, as well. So it's all who. She's like, is Kamara? I was like, is Pirtle available? Like,
but back on Porzingis, he's still a top 50 guy in 9K, 55. Basketball monster. Not huge minutes at the moment, but we know that per game he's just outstanding. But if you want to get off him, perhaps you've got some other injury-prone guys or guys that are injured at the moment. It does always depend on what you can get back, but you could offer and see if you can use your negotiation skills to try to get yourself a top 40 guy after a nice performance. And I think he does play in the next Hawks game.
Yeah, I think he does as well. And I think it was really weird because he was just sick all of a sudden. Do you know what I mean? Like he played the game and then he was sick. And I know they didn't say it was because of the back-to-back. For me, it was more of a, you're sick all of a sudden. It just didn't.
Yeah, we saw that last season at the Celtics as well. So I guess something to be mindful of. I thought we'd seen the last of that. But yeah,
his sickness was like death. His sickness was like death, though. I thought the guy was going to die. Like he looked on the sidelines that he was legitimately ill, and I was very confused. Porzingis a must trade. I wouldn't say that one. Hey, let's rip through some of our buy low options. Desi Bane does make the list. He starts slow traditionally, but I still think that we can get some value back for him. I love Desmond Bane. I think he's a great team player. I think it gets ramping up throughout the season. Who else is on the list there, Matt?
Yeah, Chet Holmgren. We spoke about Chet earlier. Not quite there, but he's not far away. Matas Buzelis, again, he trades good games with bad games. And at the moment, I think you could play on that as well, and you could try to trade for him. Desmond Bane, we spoke about. Jakob Poeltl that you just offered up. So definitely a buy low. Had some back issues. Had some games out as well and ramping up. But yeah, definitely a buy low. And Kawhi Leonard is going to miss the next few games. But he's returning some fantastic per game numbers at the moment. So if you can convince the owner at the moment that he's not going to be there for most of the season, if you can convince the manager that does have Kawhi Leonard, then get yourself a top 20 type of per game guy rest of the season.
That is exactly why I put him on the list at the end. As an owner of Kawhi Leonard and someone who's invested in him, if someone threw a trade at me right now, I'm like, I know what you're doing. So my spider senses, DMAC, go off a little bit. They're like, yeah, okay, no, because I know that you think it's a buy low option, but I know how good he can be. In fact, the two games that he played previously, he was a top 5 player.
Yeah,
he's going to miss
at 6 at the moment. Yeah,
we expect this from him. We expect this from him. And the thing is to have that IR opportunity, and then we can go from there. And then we are done. Peaches and cream and gravy. That is it. Any last questions before we go? Chat, throw it in there. Make sure, though, you do like and subscribe. All you need to do is search Fantasy in 5. In one word, YouTube. We will put the sub in our X chats right now. If you're watching us on YouTube, all 700 of you, congratulations. Thank you so much. But if you are not, make sure you like and subscribe. We have the short form version of this one, as well as 30 must waiver ads coming for your week. All today, and Cat's in the chat, a new episode coming up as well. DMAC, where can everyone find you?
Find me at NBA Fantasy Bible over on Twitter, and of course on YouTube as well. So I have my own videos, but of course Fantasy in 5 is a huge project of ours. So doing well. Yeah, man, we're doing well. We got one last comment here. When is Edie coming back, and will he be in a minutes restriction? Edie is coming back apparently by the end of this week. Now, he is potentially returning the first game this week, but like all injuries, yes, he will be on a minutes restriction. We could expect it to be 15 or 20, probably for the first week, and then going up to 25 minutes, just like we saw Mark Williams, and then all of a sudden no minutes limit
exist within a very short amount of time because they are not rushing him back. He has been recalled twice from the G League, which means he has trained twice successfully, not had any regression, and he is with the team. He is expected to make his debut this week, which is a bit on the earlier side, but they're very comfortable with how he's been recovering, D-Mac.
Yeah, and they definitely need him.
They absolutely do. And as we said earlier, that is your time then to slip in and make some trades now, because Ja Morant and Triple J will be better with Edie back in the lineup. They have showed it in the past. So they made the buy a low section of this. We have the short form version of this coming out, as well as those 30 plus must add. Guys, take care. Be well. We'll see you soon, everyone. Bye.